붉은 와인이나 포도 껍질 등에 들어있는 레스베라트롤 성분이 여드름 치료에 도움을 주는 것으로 나타났습니다. 중앙대병원 피부과 김범준 교수팀은 사람의 얼굴에 여드름을 일으키는 세포에 레스베라트롤을 발랐더니 세포 증식이 억제됐다고 밝혔습니다. 연구팀은 만성 여드름으로 고통받는 환자들에게 새로운 치료법을 제시할 수 있을 것이라고 말했습니다. 이번 연구 결과는 국제분자의학회지 4월호에 게재됐습니다.
살은 쑥 빠지고 면역력은 쏙 올려줄 만한 식품이
2020년대 이 새싹 중에 가장 샛별 떠오르는 게 이게 새싹 땅콩입니다. 땅콩보다 새싹 땅콩이 영양소가 더 많다고 하더라.
원래 땅콩에는 레스베라트롤이라는 이제 미량 그 성분이 있어요. 근데 얘네가 이 새싹 땅콩으로 바뀌게 되면 그 레스베라트롤의 성분이 90배 이상 높아집니다.
와.
이게 레스베라트롤이 들어있는 게 포도류에도 많이 들어있다고 하는데 포도주보다도 한 25배 더 많이 들어있습니다. 외부의 곰팡이, 세균, 바이러스로부터 새싹을 지켜주는 역할을 하게 됩니다. 그래서 면역력을 키워줄 수가 있는 거고요. 그리고 전립선에도 좋다고.
아, 그래요?
전립선에.
새싹 땅콩은 잎, 줄기, 뿌리가 각각 영양소가 다르다고 하더라.
앞서 얘기한 레스베라트롤 성분은 새싹 땅콩의 잎에 풍부합니다.
잎에요?
네, 그리고 줄기에는 아스파라긴산이라고 하는 두 번째 핵심 성분이 들어 있습니다. 새싹 땅콩은 100g당 718mg으로 약 8배나 많은 양이 들어 있습니다.
와, 그래요?
이 아스파라긴산은 독소 배출, 피로 해소에 도움이 됩니다.
땅콩과 비교했을 때 칼로리가 7분의 1로 줄어들고요.
7분의 1.
지방은 13분의 1로 줄어듭니다.
와.
다이어트에도 도움이 되지만 또 면역력 증진에도 도움이 되는 식품.
건강에 더 도움이 되게 하기 위해서 분말이나 액상 형태로 드시는 것도 추천할 만하죠.
청춘은 아름답습니다. 청춘이 청춘을 응원합니다. 땅콩새싹차 레스베라 청춘.
Today we're going to be talking about resveratrol. So what is resveratrol? Well, resveratrol is most commonly known for being that special little compound in red wine that causes so much healthy benefits. It's most commonly referred to as an antioxidant. Resveratrol has a number of beneficial effects on our health. It's an antioxidant. It protects the heart and cardiovascular system. It's actually showing promise as an anti-aging compound. It has anti-diabetic effects. It prevents some types of cancer. It protects the skin. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's neuroprotective, or in other words, it protects the brain. Trans resveratrol actually increases testosterone levels and has become a new bodybuilding supplement. It also has antiviral effects. It reduces opioid tolerance. Starting to elaborate on those points, as an antioxidant, your body needs oxygen for your metabolism, but one of the natural byproducts is going to be free radicals. Free radicals can attack your tissue, they can attack your DNA. As we age, more and more DNA damage happens. Your DNA can't replicate itself as well, and there are errors, and these errors manifest themselves as aging, wrinkles. You aren't able to have the same energy, strength. Certain things start shutting down. We call it aging. Heart protection and cardiovascular protection. So it increases nitric oxide production. This is a gas that increases the size of your blood vessels. So why is that good? One, it drops your blood pressure. Two, it increases your circulation. It increases the amount of nutrients that get to your body. So this is extremely helpful. In addition to this, resveratrol actually prevents against platelet aggregation. This causes clots. What's wrong with clots? Well, those clots get dislodged and then they can reach the heart and cause a heart attack, or reach the brain and cause a stroke. So we're actually decreasing that with resveratrol. Anti-aging, besides its antioxidant properties that we discussed already, it also activates a group of proteins that have been recently discovered called sirtuins. Sirtuins have been heavily researched by David Sinclair and his pharmaceutical company that are trying to create a product that can actually reverse aging and prevent it. And what these do is they stop genes that turn on as we grow older. These genes flip on and naturally start the aging process. Sirtuins block those genes from ever becoming activated. So it's almost like a chain reaction. The sirtuins prevent activation of the aging genes. Resveratrol activates these sirtuin proteins so they can help the anti-aging. So resveratrol to sirtuins equals anti-aging. Cancer. Let's take a look at that. In lab studies involving mice, melanomas were actually prevented by topically placing resveratrol onto their skin. Now, if they took the resveratrol orally by mouth, then it did not prevent the cancer. So it was important that it was topically applied. I'm not sure if stomach acid or certain digestive enzymes broke up its active ability to fight cancer, or if it just needed to be in high concentrations in direct contact with the cancer cells themselves. This actually further demonstrated itself with a study with lung cancer. Resveratrol was injected into the peritoneum or body cavity of mice, and that actually prevented lung cancer. However, as in the other study, if it was taken orally, then it did not prevent the lung cancer. Okay, so it's also anti-diabetic. Resveratrol has actually been shown to decrease your blood sugar levels, especially after a meal. In addition to that, it also decreases symptoms that are very common to diabetics, such as polydipsia, which is the feeling of excessive thirst, always thirsty, or polyphagia, which is excessive hunger, always hungry. It also decreases loss of body weight, and it's body weight caused by muscle wasting. Diabetics typically, because of the way that the disease or condition works, your body starts stripping down your muscle in your legs, your arms, and you actually increase your gut size from fat. So this will actually decrease your body's inclination to do this as a diabetic. So skin, it protects the skin. It protects it against harmful UV radiation. It's actually being started to be used in body products, not only as a skin protectant. I imagine they'll start to be using it as sunscreen, but it's used in a lot of beauty products to enhance the skin's natural radiance, that type of thing. It actually, when combined with metformin, protects against collagen degradation. Collagen is what gives your skin its elasticity. When you pull on your skin and it goes back to where it was, that's because of the collagen in it. And as you age, the ability to produce collagen decreases and results in droopiness and sagging we call wrinkles. Moving on, it's neuroprotective, or it protects the brain, and as we were talking about before, it reduces beta amyloid plaques. These are the little compounds that accumulate within the brain that are known to cause Alzheimer's disease. So, taking resveratrol will actually decrease beta amyloid plaque formation and therefore protect against Alzheimer's disease and against memory impairment, those types of neurological conditions. Testosterone. It will increase testosterone. Trans resveratrol has been shown to increase testosterone. It is being marketed as a sports supplement now, a bodybuilding supplement to help gain mass, muscle mass. Okay, as far as antiviral properties, without any irritation or toxicity to the skin, resveratrol, when applied to herpes simplex virus, such as genital herpes or oral herpes, in other words, it's a cold sore, either one, it actually inhibits the virus replication. It has also been shown to enhance the ability of HIV drugs to decrease the virus. It has also been shown to stop the growth of varicella zoster, influenza, and human cytomegalovirus. Another one we're going to talk about is opioid tolerance reduction. So this is kind of an interesting application. When resveratrol is injected into the spinal column, it actually reduces the subject's opioid tolerance. Opioids are heroin, morphine, things that latch onto the opioid receptors in our brains and give us the pleasure through dopamine release. Well, after a prolonged exposure to these drugs, tolerance builds up and withdrawal symptoms are extremely painful and hard to deal with. Injecting the spinal column with resveratrol apparently will decrease this opioid tolerance. Well, there you have it, resveratrol, a very interesting compound with a lot of health benefits, potential health benefits. A lot of the times these compounds do get hyped up more than their actual benefits, and results always vary with individuals. So make sure you keep that in mind and you talk to your doctor about supplementing with it. Check out the article below for more information, then also dosing amounts that you need to take. A specific amount needs to be taken for you to see the health benefits. The amount in red wine, sadly, isn't enough. So check out that article below and make sure you stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe, like the video if you thought it was helpful, and we'll see you around.
17 years ago, 60 Minutes first examined the so-called French paradox, which suggested that the French, despite a high-fat diet and high consumption of wine, had a remarkably low incidence of heart disease compared with Americans. Most researchers agreed that there was something in the wine that offered protection. And a few years later, even the highly cautious federal dietary guidelines say that moderate consumption of red wine can be beneficial. Now, scientists across the country have identified a substance in red wine called resveratrol that they believe might do more than just protect the heart, but could, in very high concentrations, significantly extend life by preventing a number of age-related illnesses. If they're right, we all may soon be taking a pill that could give us an extra decade or two of healthy old age.
If the promise holds true, I think this has the chance to change healthcare.
Dr. Christoph Westphal says we all may soon be taking a drug that just might beat the clock, a simple pill that could delay the inevitable.
Our goal is to prevent and forestall many of the diseases that strike us as we reach 50, 60, and 70, all with one pill.
What you're suggesting is that it's some kind of rejuvenation drug that turns a 70-year-old into a 35-year-old.
That might be pretty hard to do, but I think if we're on a train heading one direction, we can slow down that train. I think we can slow down these genes that control the aging process.
That quest to put death on hold began in 2003 when Westphal met David Sinclair, a biochemist at Harvard, who was studying the genetic components of aging.
5 years ago, I met David, and he had shown that you could extend lifespan in yeast. That's pretty exciting. Now,
If you happen to be a yeast, it's very exciting. Yeasts are one thing, human beings are more complicated. So Sinclair focused on a gene present in almost all life forms, the sirtuin gene. It's normally inactive, but when it is active, Sinclair believes it triggers a survival mechanism that extends life. Convinced that something in nature could activate that gene, Sinclair randomly tested thousands of compounds. And bingo, he got a hit. Resveratrol.
When I Googled this resveratrol, I was shocked to find that red wine was the top hit.
Red wine is brimming with resveratrol. It's found in high concentration in the skin of the grape and seems to play a role in protecting it from invading bacteria and fungi.
Were you aware of the research into red wine that it offered certain health benefits?
Oh, sure. I mean, that's why I almost fell off my chair when the link was made, and I thought that this was a potential explanation for the benefits of red wine. The important news here is not that we found something in red wine. The important thing is that we passed a milestone where we can now make drugs based on this knowledge and potentially slow down aging itself. What we're talking about is activating the body's natural genetic defenses against diseases, and that's very powerful if we can harness that. Their organs looked pristine, youthful, fat-free, and their physiology was just like they were dieting, but they were fat.
Convinced they were on the right path, they fast-tracked the drug into human trials on people with untreated diabetes, and the results were impressive. It significantly lowered glucose and insulin levels without the patients changing their diet or taking any other drugs.
Originally, our hope was that you'd be able to prevent diseases of aging. What we ended up seeing is actually you could therapeutically intervene in patients who have diseases of aging, and that was unexpected. Yeah, the diabetic patients have high blood sugar, and the molecules bring it down. That's treatment, that's not prevention. What we're talking about is potentially making a 90-year-old as healthy as a 60-year-old. A 90-year-old can play tennis and see their great-grandkids graduate from college. People will live active, healthy lives and then die quietly in their sleep, and that's really the aim here with these medicines.
Are we on the edge of maintaining active lives into our hundreds, for example?
Well, we've certainly passed a corner in terms of the science, and someone's going to achieve it, and if it's not us, it's going to be